Welcome back to Moose and Shrimp Podcast. So it's been about a month or so. So what had happened was my brother got sick. You got the flu?
Yes, I got the flu.
So he got sick. So we just did.
Why'd you do air quotes?
Because we don't know.
You're a doctor?
Kinda. I'm WebMD certified.
Call Dr. Fauci.
So he got sick, and then so we put a hold for a couple weeks, and then my daughter got it from daycare, and so then we got tested and we were positive, so that put us out for 10 days. It'd be up to him if he wants to say, but for me, me and my wife, we got vaccinated, and
HIPAA.
yeah, I don't want to violate his HIPAA, but whatever he had, flu, whatnot. So he was down. He was down for what, like 3 weeks, dude?
21 days.
Yeah. So
until I was back to 100.
100 or like kind of like
100.
100?
22 to be 100.
Okay, so we're vaccinated. We got the Pfizer shot, and so
I got hydroxychloroquine.
we wouldn't have known we had it unless my daughter had got it, because we tested positive, but we had zero symptoms.
I feel great. 3 days. I don't know what they did. I feel good. I'm immune to it.
The only one that got, I guess, kind of fussy was Amaya or Aria, but she was teething, so I think that's what that was.
Because when you're teething, that could bring
a fever, huh?
Yeah.
So I think that's what that was. But other than me, Kayla, and the older girls, zero symptoms. Well, we still did the whole 10 days. Real quick, what did you do for the 21 days? You were just hanging out, or?
Yeah, I was bedridden pretty much. Like when I got up in the morning, I had to do feed my animals, the horses, dogs, cows, pigs, everything. I had to do that, but I was hating life when I was doing it.
But when you were able to move around, did you just like hang out, watch TV, or what were you doing?
What hurt less. So if I laid down, I was okay. But then when it started hurting, I'd sit up and go to the living room or something.
I guess it's kind of different for you because you were sick. But like for us, I was like, I kind of at a crossroads, because you know how we are, like when we're working, it's like, I'm not gonna call in unless like I'm kind of dying. But in this situation, because this is so new, like I told Kay, I was like, I'm positive, but I don't have any symptoms. And like I was debating, I was like, should I not say I have it, or say I have it, because we're already like skeleton crew.
Yeah,
I already knew they were gonna be hurting. But then on the flip side of it, I was like, I'm not gonna be that guy where I go and just because I'm cherried out, go and then 4 other
possibly
people
take out 2 people.
So I said, you know what, fuck it, and I told the chain of command how we did it, and then they told me, well, I got to do the 10 days and then have to talk to a doctor and say that I'm good to go back. So for me, we just did like that whole Netflix thing, dude. We're just watching whatever we could watch, and then so this is it's kind of stupid on my part, but it's just me not knowing a lot of stuff about like my landscaping and all that. But so we now lived in our house for like going on 4 years, and so we had the grass in the front. We did the whole thing where you get your sprinkler turned on and move it, and I think that lasted for like
a week.
Yeah, and if that, and then it's an argument. Hey, you go turn the water on. No, you go turn the water on.
Did I leave the water on?
Yeah, and then so I'm just gonna leave it. So then he started dabbling in the whole sprinkler system stuff.
My dumb ass, I was doing the same thing. I was putting the sprinkler, and the yard's pretty big, so I was putting it at one end and then bringing it like every 30 minutes and bringing it so each section of the yard gets wet or watered.
Yeah.
And shout out to Loopy Narvaez. He's the one that
inside joke with Loops.
He told me there's a main, because growing up, we never had freaking automatic water systems. So there's a main water union, and you just turn you could turn them on. So I get home after he told me, I seen them at Lowe's, and I turn it on, and I could turn it on manually, and all the sprinklers come on by themselves. So I was like, oh my God.
So from that, so he learned a little bit, and then I was at the house, and my brother asked me, he's like, what's that knob? And I remember I turned it on, and well, do you remember how in 256 we had that where you turn the water on, and then there was this thing that popped up at Grandpa's that he had on, and it would just like flood everything.
Yeah.
So it could water it.
Yeah.
So I thought it was something similar where you turn it on, it's like a little flood system, and it just gets everything wet. So I turned it on. So we turned it on when he asked, and then I go, I don't know, it just floods in the corner, and then so we turn it on, and he goes, that's a goddamn sprinkler head. So we turn it off, and then end up getting all the sprinkler heads. End up doing 3. I think we got all 3 new ones. Turn it on. So anyways, everything gets watered now. We even have found one in the corner, like one of the cool ones where it goes back and forth. So yeah, we got the grass going now. But I said that to say go back during that 10-day quarantine. I decided, because the whole front yard just turned to dirt, so I got a pickaxe?
Yeah.
So I got the pickaxe, and I just freaking pretty much just tore up the whole front yard with the pickaxe and just planted the grass, so now it's all cherried out. But
it went pretty quick too.
Yeah.
I was surprised because it was, when you told me it was $50, I'm like, damn, it's expensive, but
I guess it was like a 3-in-1.
Yeah, so 2 weeks later it was already sprouted.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go up to this past weekend, or I guess there was a Thursday.
Yeah.
So you bring it up.
So a good friend of ours, who knew him since third grade,
yeah,
third grade, and his birthday was Thursday, so we wanted to have a dinner on Main Street in Visalia. So we park, and we have to walk a couple blocks.
Hold on, but real quick, even with our like when we did drink and go out and stuff, I don't know about you, but I only hit Main Street like maybe a handful of times, maybe like 4 or 5 times, and that was it.
I think I was only like twice. Yeah. Because everything's so expensive, we just wanted to get drunk.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even about going down there. It was just like, hey, what's the quickest route to get shit-faced, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
so we were there. We got there when we walked to the restaurant we were gonna have dinner at. And we were waiting outside so they could get our table ready.
El Tarasco.
Yeah. So it was me, my brother Pat, and Doughboy, like all the guys there.
First off, Kyle, man, if you see this, dude, you looking good, bro. I didn't even really recognize, or you didn't recognize him.
We haven't seen him like in 14 years.
But it's still like you kind of see somebody, you kind of have an idea.
He had long hair, and then I just been so long.
Yeah.
And when we were walking up, I actually told him because he was going to shake my brother's hand, but he was a few steps in front of us still. I was like, I don't know who that is. And,
yeah, he's looking good, man.
And then so. Me, my brother, Kyle, we're probably over 6 foot, barely, and Pat, he's about like 5'11". I think he might be 6 foot.
Pushing it.
And Doughboy, he's
Pat's 6 foot with his Georgias on.
And Doughboy is what, like 5?
He's 5'3" on a good day.
Yeah, 5'3", and pretty stocky.
Yeah.
And so we're just BSing, waiting for our table outside of the restaurant on Main Street. And
but hold on, let me intervene real quick. But what I told my brother is, but before all this, I think it's just being more observing everything. Like, I don't know, just because maybe my line of work, but you're always taught to have your head on a swivel. And then so I saw this transpiring way before it even happened. I was hoping it wouldn't, but I seen it coming like from a distance already.
Yeah. So then I'm pretty sure it was a homeless person who's probably high on some sort of amphetamines, and he was walking.
High, or he was burned out.
Yeah. He was pretty much, he was gone.
Yeah.
He was gone.
Yeah.
Fentanyl. And he was he walked past us, and when he walked past me, he kind of glanced. I was like in my head, I was like, oh fuck, all right,
here we go.
And then he kept walking. I was like, okay, and then he stops and he turns around, and like I said, Doughboy, he's the smallest one there.
And usually, like, we're not the tallest people, but usually when someone's a lot shorter, it stands out. You know what I mean?
So the guy turns around and looks at Doe, and he said,
but even to make it even more, we were like in a circle, so like Doe was kind of behind us. So
so he was shielded.
Yeah, he was kind of hidden, dude.
Yeah, he was hidden to the world. Not that guy though. And then he pointed at Doe. He's all, "Get over here, talk to me. You call me a bitch."
He's all, "Come here, we talking."
Yeah. And Doe looked at me. And, "I ain't talking to you, bro." And the funny thing was because obviously for us it was no threat, because back in the day we probably just, I don't know, just beat the fuck out of them. But now we're growing up with kids and wives and everything. You can't do that anymore. And
or probably shouldn't do it in the first place. But when you're like we talked about this too. When you're younger, it's like especially if you're around your friends, it's like you have something like your ego gets in the way. He called me a bitch, or he said this and that, so I'm gonna do something. As opposed to where you're thinking now, it's like, okay,
repercussions.
Yeah, what's the best way to get him out of here?
South County.
Yeah, so it would have been, you had two options, and the first option, it would have made a lot more trouble for everybody else. But go ahead. So like I was thinking like either haymaker or double leg. So I don't know. Well, he wasn't. What, he's like 120 probably. No, he was like 145.
Yeah, he wasn't really a threat. He seemed like he didn't have no weapons. So,
but
so then after we called him out, we're kind of saying like, Doe's like, I wasn't even talking to you or nothing. And then he's all, "Step in my dojo." And then that's when Kyle, that's when Kyle, he said, "Step in my dojo." And Kyle's all, "It's all love."
Yeah.
And then he's all, "You want some too, bitch?" And he did his whole like Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan thing.
Yeah.
The karate thing, Cobra Kai. And he was quick though. He had that down, so he must have used it on a few people.
Yeah, that was his front. Like,
yeah.
Or maybe, we don't know.
I would have knocked his ass out. And he kind of, and then I think what'd you tell him? Just keep moving?
I said, "Hey, bro, just keep walking. And then I think he called me a bitch too. And but here's like with the thing, especially with my job, I see that every day on a daily basis. And with us, when I'm working, it's like, hey, we want to de-escalate the situation where we just get you out of here, get you going. We don't want to hurt them. We don't want to do anything to them. We just want to eliminate the whole situation. And at that point, we just wanted to get them out of there, dude.
We didn't even have dinner yet.
Yeah. And the whole thing too, like with my mentality, like my brother was saying, like with my mentality now, it's like, okay, you call me a bitch, I don't care. And then I think too, what it goes down to is like how people, if they feel confident with themselves, like they're like, whatever, I already know what I could do. I don't care. I'm not going to fight you. I don't have nothing to prove to anybody. But as opposed to when you're younger and you have all like that ego, or if you just want to show off in front of your friends or girlfriend, whatever it may be, boyfriend, I think that's when they try to do something. But luckily, man, it was just, he said something like, "I'll see you later. I'll
be around."
Yeah, and then he kept walking, and but that's one reason why it's like, I don't even want to go downtown anymore, dude. And it went from like just going to have dinner, like enjoying, reuniting, talking with our buddies and stuff, to fucking almost fighting some homeless dude, man. It is crazy though, and then we ended up going to the Green Olive, and it was a little dive bar. Yeah, it was a dive bar.
I love dive bars.
Yeah, by Maddox. And even that too, like we went in there and we're in the back patio, man, and it's like, if you're just sober, you could see it. This guy walks out, and we're just standing in a circle talking, not paying no mind to him. And then he comes down and has a cigarette, and he comes up close to us, and then he like he's like looking at everybody. I probably thinking, I'll kick everybody's ass with whatever, man. And
I had 6 beers, I could take everybody.
Yeah. So he was probably hoping it was a scene out
and
of...
he was in a tank top.
Yeah, he was hoping it was a scene. He was Steven Seagal, and it was going to be out for justice, and he was going to start fucking mollywopping everybody. But I don't know, dude. It's just, it's not for me, man. And it's cool, like, if you want to go out and have a beer or whatnot, but then there's those people like that just want to go out and fucking cause trouble, dude.
He was like, he thought he was Patrick Swayze from Roadhouse.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was that night. It ended up turning pretty cool, but we hung out, bullshit, talked about some of the stories, and then I think that's a segue into what you were going to talk about.
So back in the day, we used to. So our routine was either Friday night or Saturday nights. We'd go to Pat's, or Pat come to our house, and we just hang out until we got word on a party or anything popping off, somewhere to drink, somewhere to kick back. Mm-hmm. So we're at Pat's that night. I don't think you ended up going with that party at Newman's.
No, I heard.
Okay,
that.
So me and Pat drinking, hanging out at his house, and one of our buddies, Josh Newman, he calls us and he says, "Hey, we're having a Halloween party. You guys grab a couple kegs. You guys come over." We're all right. So he's all, "You have to pay to get in, or if you have a Halloween costume, you get in for free." So of course we're trying to do the free route, and we were drunk already. And I don't even remember where we got him from. I think it might have been the neighbor. Remember the neighbor that lived next door Pat would talk to?
Yeah.
I think we ended up getting from them. And
what did you get? What?
So we got a black wig and a fucking gray or a blonde wig. And we're just coming up with ideas real quick. So what the fuck are we gonna do with the wigs on? We'll be Garth and Wayne from Wayne's World. And at that time, I'm fucking probably like 280. And Pat's up there too. Not
Gains.
too big, but we looked in the mirror at the time.
That's a big ass Garth.
It was post to Wayne's World, Wayne's World money, and so we ended up putting the fucking wigs on, and we got in there for free though. And then shortly after, I remember hanging the wigs up in the tree, and then we abandoned them. And that party was pretty good. The crazy part was, we're there for a while, and at the end of the night, everything's dying down. So me and Pat, we were trying to get back to his house. And shit, that's when I think he lived right off of Mooney's. Mm-hmm. So we started walking.
Hold real quick, like, and then too, like, there's a whole bunch of the stories we have, but like, to give you an idea, it was always like that towards the ending scene of like Superbad, how it's always like a mission where you have to get back to Pat's.
For some reason, I don't know why.
It was never like, hey, we had a ride, let's go home, whatever. It was always something crazy like that, like the fucking ending of that movie.
And so we take off walking, and what's the road you used to live on? Where that
K Street?
On the other side where that game goes at?
Santa Fe.
We're on Santa Fe walking east, going back towards his house. And there was a 4-way stop right there. And these guys are listening to music with their windows down. They were stopping. And I don't know what the hell. I was like, hey, could we get a ride to 7-Eleven? 7-Eleven's right by Pat's. And they're all, jump in the back. So we don't know if these guys are drinking or high or anything. We're laying in the back of their truck, in the bed of the truck, and they just start driving and then pull into 7-Eleven. We jump out and said, thanks. And then we ended up getting some munchies and walking back to Pat's.
God, it was always something crazy, dude. Like, always something popping off like that, dude.
Yeah.
But luckily for us, it always ended like on a good note, though.
For the most part.
Yeah. But the one thing I forgot I was gonna tell you, because I think when we're doing this, we're still trying to find like a format. But what I want to work in is like.
Excel.
Huh? Some of like the stories how we go down the line, because like how we originally said it, we want to focus like on all the different type of stories, but one of the biggest thing was some of the stuff like that happens at work, and obviously for obvious reasons I can't get in too much detail, but there's like some of the ones that I wanted to talk about because it just jogged my memory how. So remember you were telling me about the Alex Jones, the podcast with Joe Rogan?
Mm-hmm. They take the blood.
So anybody knows like Alex Jones is like some kind of somewhat political, and he has a lot of those conspiracy theories.
He's a conspiracy.
Yeah. So
I don't know, Joe.
but I was driving around. It's somewhat of a slow day, so I seen this vehicle. I'm gonna go check out with it. There's 3 people in it, and so I go, and there's 2 people in the front. They're cool. The car broke down. There's one guy in the back, and sorry if we're jumping everywhere, but there's one guy in the back, and he seems kind of sketchy. Like he's not like he's late 20s, white guy, typical tweaker looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
And just a little backstory. So I was listening to that podcast anyways, and it was a lot of conspiracy theories, blah blah blah. And so I contact the guy in the back, and I go, the 2 people in the front had their IDs, so the guy in the back, I go, hey, let me get your name real quick, man. And so he looks at me, and I start thinking. I go, what's your first name? He's like, and then so it's already like, okay, so we're gonna get a fake name. So he says his first name, and I go, what's your last name? I was like, what's your last name? And like, typically if someone asks your name, you don't have to think about it.
I don't know my name.
Yeah, so he tells me his last name, and so the last part, and I go, what's your date of birth? And he goes, 6/5/25.
Fuck! God damn!
And so I have like
96,
25, 19 or he said 25. So I didn't know
1925.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was 1925. Obviously, it wasn't.
Or he's from the future.
And then or 2025. Those are 2 options.
3025.
So then I kind of had one of those office moments, like
go back
where they look at you.
I'm cool with that.
And I was like, this ain't a Mandalorian, so. Yeah. And I look, I kind of had one of those office moments where they look away at the camera, and look back, and I was like, 25? And he goes, yeah. And I go,
yeah.
And I go 1925 or 2025? He said 25. And for a second there, I was like, conspiracy theories? Is he from the future? Yes. Was this a Benjamin Button type thing? Yes. And I go, bro. I was all, what's your date of birth, man? And then so, anyways, he ended up having a warrant and all that, and he
we could have guessed that.
Yeah, and so he gets arrested, but it's like one of those crazy things where just one of those weird things that happens when you're working, man, and it's like it's something that keeps the job fun because it's kind of funny, but I mean not for him.
For you?
Yeah, for me. Not for him because he went and he was busting, he was crying, but anyways, But the other thing I remember I was telling you, so this one chick turns out to be a chick. I 100% thought it was a guy, 100%. She had a fade, everything, and I'm talking to her, and she's talking, and I thought it was a guy. So I said, okay, we're bullshitting and whatnot. And I go, hey, can I just check, make sure I don't have any weapons or nothing? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. So I just did a quick pat down. And then I got to like the left pant pocket, and there was like a bulge. And I go, what do you got in here? And I said, what do you have in here? Do you mind if I pull it out? And so I squeezed it, and it was like, it's kind of
flaccid.
It was kind of like it was thick. It was somewhat hard. And
semi-erect.
She goes, that's my strap-on. And I was like, oh, shit. So then, just like to confirm. You never know. So then my mind's going, all right, it's a female. And then I just squeezed it real quick. And I was like, I could make out what felt like the head of a penis. So anyways, I stopped and sat her down, and she gave me her ID and whatnot. And it was a female, but it was funny as hell, man. It was one of the ones for the books, but did you have something?
Oh, we have the other DoggTown party I want to talk about. So we're in DoggTown where we always talk about it. We'd I guess host parties, right? Mm-hmm. We'd be the host, and so Michael,
we were like the venue.
Yeah, we just supply the venue, and then everyone would bring the alcohol and whatnot. And so Michael Vela, he wanted to throw a Halloween party. And one of our buddies used to work at Q97, the local radio station. So they would bring did they bring the van or just the whole turntable things?
They brought the whole nine.
Everything set up. So it was at like a legit DJ out there. And at this particular party, I went to the doctor a couple weeks before, and I was hitting the sauce too hard, so I had got ulcers. So they prescribed me some pain medicine, some pain pills.
But he thought that meant, because he had ulcers, he thought that meant if I drink more, it will fix it.
Yes.
Which
Just
it wasn't
more.
the case, right?
I was going to water it down. So I pop out early in the party. Everyone's dressed up, and I was jacked up. So I think I tried to drink, but
You checked the scene out. You came out, checked the scene, see how everything was going.
yeah. And I went back inside, but where I was inside, it's right outside where the DJ was, so I could hear everything going on. And I remember popping some pills and going to sleep. And I woke up, and that's when Keith, one of our buddies, Keith, he had got punched.
But do you remember what, after the fact, what led up to? Do you remember Mom heard the
My mom. So her window was on the far side of the house, and she heard. I think it was like 3 or 4 individuals transpiring or what is it called? What's that word?
conspiracy?
Transpiring.
Conspiracy theory.
No, to
Reimbursed it.
they were planning. It was a premeditated attack.
Yeah.
So they were talking about
They were doing recon.
yeah, and they already did recon. They already did the target.
They were just confirming the hit time.
Yeah.
So my mom, she came to find out later, she already heard all of it. Like she heard who the target was. He's over there. This is what we're gonna do and whatnot.
She could have stopped it.
Yeah. You could stop the whole goddamn party.
Yeah. And so when I snap out of it, one of the guys on the microphone, someone just punched my homeboy, and we're gonna find him. And the fucking party went crazy. Everyone's like screaming, yelling. And I go out there. I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" And I think there was a gunshot.
Yes.
A shotgun went off, and then after that, everyone left.
Yeah. It was just like mayhem. Everybody scattered, but one guys who was hosting it, or not, he was part of the not hosting it, but part of the who was running it.
He was dressed up as a nun.
Yes.
Well, that goes back to the wigs too. We thought we looked cool, so I wonder what he thought in a nun suit.
Well, that was when that was
How High.
Yeah.
But he didn't look nothing like Redman.
In his head, he did.
Yeah.
But remember, he caught a ball.
Oh yeah, that's what I see. They were carrying, because when I went out there, everyone was leaving. It was everyone just scattered to their vehicles. Yeah, and then so when it's dark and then a vehicle's coming, it kind of lights that area up. And I seen him getting carried. One guy on this side, one guy with his leg elevated.
Yeah. So what had happened when everybody was taking off? I guess people started like throwing bottles and whatnot, and he ended up catching a bottle to the ankle and just dropped instantly. He was done dollar.
Man down.
Yeah, so his buddies went and grabbed him. They took him out of there. But
do you remember did we stay up after that, or what happened?
I think we stayed up to make sure everybody was taken off and everyone was out of there. Because after that, it was pretty much party was over. Yeah. So they shit the stick and that was it. But
I don't remember. I remember that. Then everyone leaving, but I don't remember too much after that.
So, leading up to that, one of our buddies, I'll leave his name out of it, but, he was more of one of Pat's buddies.
A friend of a friend.
Yeah. So, this is kind of, I think this is what sparked, this sparked it, and then that attack happened. So he goes, and I was kind of drinking already, so he goes, hey.
Kinda?
Well, I was drinking, but, I mean, I was kind of buzzed, I meant.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So he tells, we used to have a bus stop where we'd get picked up to go to school, and anyways,
it's like 50 yards from our house.
Yeah, entrance. There was cars everywhere, and he tells me, I didn't know what was going on, so he just tells me, hey, can you come with me for a second? And I said, sure, why not? I didn't see anything out of the ordinary, so I go with him, and we're walking up, and he's pretty sauced, and he's like walking, he goes, and there's a group of people, and just out of the blue, he throws a lazy right. He connects on Jardine. He connects on some dude. The dude drops, and one of his buddies like, "What the fuck?" So then his buddy cracks him, and then he drops, and then I was like, "All right, that's it." And then
you got him, dog.
Yeah. And then so I help him up and take him back, and I was like, What happened? I still to this day don't know what happened.
You
good? Yeah, I guess it was something that happened prior, but that popped off, and then the whole Keith thing popped off, and then that was that, dude. But
yeah, so I think that was right before Keith got punched.
But that goes back to say the whole thing about drinking, partying.
Mm-hmm.
Like most people, like you go out to parties and whatnot, just have a good time. But you know, like I said, there's all those other people that want to go and they have ulterior motive why they're going, or they start drinking and then that leads into something else. But the other one we were saying, I don't know if we talked about it already, but it was since we're going off on the party thing. So it was our 21st birthday, and this was back then it was before face.
I think
there was MySpace, but it was pre-Facebook and all the other social medias they have now. Everything
LinkedIn
and
Grindr.
So what we did was we wrote like this. We wrote this map. We wrote this map how to get to our house. So it has this circle. It's I would say party. And
party with the X and at the house.
Yeah, and then so
3-kegger TJ.
Yeah,
I still have one of those. I saved it.
And so we had that, and we went to the mall and we're giving them out and everywhere. So we really didn't know what to expect at that point. We just knew, you know, probably some people show up, you know,
because I think we had 3 kegs that night. Yeah, like we started off with 3 kegs. Mm-hmm. So when you buy that much, that's like what, $300? A little more over $300 back then. It was like $120 for a keg.
But remember, we went to Vista.
Yeah,
and so
old beer.
Yeah, for anybody that from Farmersville, they know if you want the deal on beer, you go to Vista Market. And I think we were talking about it. So the beer is close to expiration, or it's like the beer the ones they have where it didn't really sell all that great, so they have like the shit ton of beer. So it's like, let's just sell it at a discount. Rocks. Yeah, and so we got them from there. We had 3 for sure, and it was the whole couple dollars to get in. But if you bring 2 girls or a girl, you get in free.
Here's the kicker.
Yeah. So anyways. So we were expecting maybe a handful of people. We didn't know how much were coming, but so by the time the party popped off, because where we used to live, it was on about an acre, maybe an acre.
I think it's an acre.
About an acre. So our house was in the back of the property, and then the house in the front, it was vacant at the time. They were looking for renters, and so my mom knew the landlord. And we said, "Well, take care of the front house," which
we got you, dog.
So, which I guess meant we had free range of the front house as well. So as the party was popping off, just people started coming in, dude, and the whole property was filled up. And I remember after talking with some people, there's people from Lindsay, Porterville, Woodlake, Visalia, everywhere, all around, like the whole Tulare County. There's people there, and it was a cool night, but
I think that was the most epic party we had.
Yeah, that was the biggest
because
one
we had to go back to get more kegs,
and
we had to turn. Remember, we turned the actual keg in, and I think we got like 2 more.
I think we had a total of 5. Yeah,
so I think Tony did the transaction for us.
Yeah, and we used some of the money that we got from the people coming in, but remember Kyle brought up a good point, like. So obviously you tell people to man the gate and who's coming in or what. Yeah. So, but the majority of the people, like we knew a lot of the people. So, you're coming in free, and then
when Big Mike, when he had the gate, he would always make sure he got the feria.
Yeah. Well, because that meant more.
He was good. Yeah, he was good.
Meant more beer, but
and then he's a beer guy, so he's like, better
pay him up. Yeah. Some of them didn't want to test him, but So then, anyways, we used that money to get more kegs. So we had a total of 5, but it was just then. We used the front house was being utilized for like a hookup zone and whatever anybody
hookup zone, narcotic house,
whatever anybody else wanted to dabble in.
Possibly, allegedly.
Yeah. So they were doing that, but
that happened.
Yes. So that one was like one of the biggest ones. But I remember there was so much.
That was a night to remember.
I don't remember. It was like those concerts, dude. Like where everything just gets filled up, man. It was big. It was a good time.
Yeah, we should buy a club. Not now anymore, but why not a party?
Well, if we had the money, we could do it like we did, run it, the venue, and then have, host it.
Yeah.
If we have the money, but anyways.
Money.
Yeah. But yeah, there's also too, like, if you guys remember those of you listening who remember some of the parties, like, hit us up and let us know, and then we'll talk about them too, because there were so many we can't remember all of them, because that's just like at some of them at our house, and then because we lived in this. There was 2 roads, and it was a little small community, and Tony's house, that was another spot that popped off, and he lived about on probably an acre, a little less.
Yeah, because it went all the way to the back.
Yeah, so there was a lot of good times over there too. But let's kind of shift gears though. But so you've been have you been running though?
Yeah. So for the past 3 weeks, I got back. Or no, this will be 3 weeks. I got back on my regimen, so I've been getting up at 5 a.m. and I leave my house at 5:20, and I do 5 miles every morning. And then in the evening time, that's when I'll do my weight training.
Okay. So I've been kind of pissing out because I'm using the smoke as a excuse.
Yeah.
But
it fucking sucks.
If you go like here in Porterville, all of Tulare County, but especially here in Porterville, because it's just east over here, the fire. If you
I was going to relieve Kern County.
You took a fucking wrong turn. But if you look outside, there's just smoke everywhere. You could just see it, dude. It almost looks like it's foggy, but it's smoke.
From Springville, if you're going to Porterville, you could see the town usually, but now you can't even see past the lake. You just see all the smoke, everything blocked from it.
And then people have been putting pictures up on social media, but you look at the sun, it's just red.
Yeah.
And but I just been working out the house, doing the heavy bag and the elliptical.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's been somewhat of a workout, but it's not the same as for running. But this Friday, for sure, obviously, unless I have to work or something pops off. But I'm gonna run to Farmersville. So if you wanna jump in, or
I'll be in Vegas.
Oh, you guys are leaving now.
I'll be in Vegas.
When do you guys leave?
We're leaving Friday morning.
Oh, Friday morning, and then when you guys coming back?
Monday.
Or if you make it back?
Monday, maybe.
So yeah, he'll be gone, but I'm gonna run to Farmersville, and I think it's about 23 miles from my house to Lima Hold, where I usually stop. And I mean, I've done 26 before, so I'm not really tripping about running the full marathon, whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it to just do it. And but it was cool though, because now that it's getting cooler, and if these goddamn fires stop, remember in the wintertime was when we were doing a lot more of the marathons, and it's cool, dude, because you get out there and anybody that's a runner, man, you get out there when it's cool weather, it's a lot funner.
For the first 5 minutes, it sucks, but then when your body warms up, you're perfect.
Yeah, and I was telling one of my buddies about it that, that different guy I work with, but like when you're out there and you're running and you get like halfway through, so like say when we get to like Lindsay area, so you're like halfway to Farmersville, halfway home. And at that point, it's like all in your head. Are you gonna keep going, or are you gonna quit, or what are you gonna do? And it's that's when you really test yourself, like to see if what you're really made out of. And because a lot of people like we post more for the or when we were posting, it's
accountability.
For us and like the podcast. But a lot of people like to post and shit, but it's like really getting out there and doing it is showing really what you're doing. Because I mean, like I said, I don't really have nothing to prove to anybody. I could do it. I could run fucking all day. But when you really get out there and it's just you by yourself, and it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna finish it up, or you're gonna call someone to come pick you up, man? And it's challenging, but it's fun. And for us, like everything that I like doing is always like trying to push myself to see how far I could go. Like when we were on that quarantine, when I was doing the elliptical, I threw a movie on, and I threw a movie on, and then I threw my sauna suit on. And this was like maybe like a few weeks ago, so we're still kind of in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And I started like about 11, 12. So then in the garage with everything closed, it was pretty warm. So it's just another way I just throw it on and just see like, let's see how much you could do. So I ended up watching the whole movie, Tombstone. But also too, if another just little side note, if you haven't seen that Val Kilmer documentary on
Secret Window
on Prime Video. It's a good watch. It's pretty trippy.
Thunderheart.
But yeah, another thing too that happened a couple weeks ago, which we're gonna have to do because I found the supply.
Oh yeah. We didn't forget Hanish.
So two of my coworkers who did the what is it? It's called the Pocky chip. I think that's what it was called. So anyways, it's that chip, and man, shout out to them, dude. It looked brutal. And not so many words, but my sergeant said it was hot. And I think my other buddy I work with, I like to see afterwards how he was, but during the time, man, he took it like a champ. So did the sergeant, but it looked hot. Like there was, and then too, once you eat it, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna drink some water or have they had the ice creams and it's like, oh, it's done. No, it kept going and kept going. It was hot it looked like it was hot as fuck. So that would be another good one to do whenever you get back
on camera.
Yeah, you'll get back and we'll do that one. And one other thing before we close this out, but I wanted to say the Sopranos movie.
Oh,
have you heard about it yet?
The movie?
Yeah, there's Many Saints of New York.
Oh, I thought it's gonna be a movie. I thought it was a TV show.
No, it's a movie.
Oh, cool.
Well, that's what I thought.
Is James Gandolfini gonna be in it?
Michael, his son, R.I.P. But we're big into this. A lot of people. I mean, everybody who watches Sopranos, we're big into it. You always hear the same shit about the ending, but
it sucked.
But like, how are you gonna end it? You can't just keep going.
Well, some people say he got shot that time.
Who? Tony?
In the restaurant.
When waiting for the dog and everybody gets in there?
Yeah. Don't stop.
But I don't know, dude. So the movie,
what do you think?
I think I think that was that, and he kept going, and
I think he got shot. What about the guy that kept going to? That was watching.
Oh, where they kept doing the freeze frame on him.
Yeah, he killed him. He killed Tony Soprano.
Maybe I don't know.
That's one of the theories that people put on the online, whatever it is.
That happened.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so the movie, it was really based on Christopher Montesanti's dad, Dickie. So I thought it would have been more about Johnny Soprano, Tony Soprano's dad, but it was more about June. Yeah, it was more about Dickie. June was in there.
Wasn't he the cousin? Whose cousin was Christopher? Tony's or wife's?
Tony was his uncle. So he was his uncle. But like we kept watching and you kept waiting for something to happen, and like some people got killed and stuff.
Wait, you seen the movie already?
Yeah, I seen it last night.
Okay.
So you kept waiting for something to happen, but I mean, it's all right to watch, but it was whatever, dude. I thought it was gonna be more like Sopranos based. How that one was like, it kept your attention. But this one, it was whatever. The one thing I didn't like was that Sil. He's my favorite character on there. The guy who played Sil is like,
I've seen the character. It looks like a costume.
It kind of looks
like he's out of character.
It kind of looks like him, but if you told me, hey Johnny, you're gonna play Sil, so you have 2 hours to get in character. So it would have been like picking someone on the street and telling me like, I mean, I could have did it, but
they pull me back in.
Mike, but anyways, I don't know, because like if anybody that watches Sopranos, Sil on there, dude, he's top notch actor on that one.
He has that at least cool and calm collected, but then when he has to blast someone or like beat someone up, it's cool. He does it. Yeah, but this guy it was and then Puss, he was on there. But he kind of looked like some Mexican dude from like the Narcos or something. Yeah. I won't say too much about it. Let you watch it, but it was all right. But I'll check it out.
Yeah. But anyways, that's our first episode back. Go ahead.
Shout out to my brother-in-law Mark Morris. We're gonna go to Vegas this weekend for his bachelor party. Anyone have any cool ideas or things we have to do in Vegas for a bachelor party besides the basics, strip clubs, stuff like that? Let us know. We'll be there all weekend.
Yeah, that'll be a fun weekend. But anywho, so what we're gonna do every other Monday. Today's Monday morning, the 4th of October. Yeah, so we're gonna try to do every other Monday. Schedule's changing here pretty soon, but we're still gonna try to keep it on this. We got a couple vacation coming up too, so we'll play it by ear. But the next one for sure, Thursday I'm getting the chip. So who's your buddy? Hanish. So
Tex,
first
number 2.
Yeah, so Tex, I'm gonna get that chip this weekend and or during my work week, and then we're gonna do it for sure.
Can we dip the chip?
Dip it in what? No.
You have to eat it like that?
Yeah, so when they opened it, it was like a little box, and it had like the rules that you have to do. Oh, and then 2, what you do is whoever could go longest without drinking or eating anything, I guess, wins it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna do that. But yeah, I'll get it for sure during this work week, and then we'll do it whenever he comes back from Vegas, and then we'll talk about the whole marathon thing and all that too, or I guess half a marathon. Quarter of a marathon, 3/4. So I'm gonna do the 23. But yeah. So yeah, we're back, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and any ideas or you want to tell us how much you hate it or like it, let us know. Any ideas, and go from there. Thank you guys.
Safe.
Later.